Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into what might be one of the biggest economic shifts happening in Canada, well, ever. We're talking about a massive gold rush for new careers in clean energy. So if you're looking for a future-proof job, you're going to want to see this.
So let's just start with a huge number right off the bat. The data shows Canada could see a net gain of 700,000 energy jobs by 2050. I mean, that is a colossal opportunity. But here's the catch. The sources are really clear on this. That future, it's not just going to happen on its own. It all comes down to the choices that we make right now.
So to really get why this is such a big deal for Canada, we've got to zoom out a bit and look at the bigger picture. Because this isn't just some Canadian trend. This is a full-on global economic race, and it is well underway. And this quote, man, it just nails it. The move to clean energy isn't really a debate anymore, you know? It's an economic reality. The race is on, and the countries that get out in front are the ones that are going to be reaping the benefits for decades to come. And you got to see who we're up against, right? The United States has its huge Inflation Reduction Act. The European Union has its Green Deal industrial plan. We're talking hundreds of billions of dollars being poured in to build up their own clean energy economies. And at the same time, China already controls about 60% of the world's clean energy manufacturing. So yeah, this is the arena that Canada is playing in. And if you need just one number to prove this thing is a sure bet, this is it. 92%. A staggering 92% of the entire world's economy is now covered by some kind of net zero commitment. So this isn't some fringe environmental issue anymore. We're talking about the core of the global economy here. Okay, so with all that global context, let's bring it back home. Because Canada is standing at a crossroads. We're facing a really clear choice between two very different paths, and each one has massive, massive implications for our job market. Okay, so the report we're digging into basically lays out three different futures for Canada. First, there's the net zero scenario. That's where we go all in on the transition. Second is current policy, which is kind of the path we're on now. And then there's a third option, a rollback scenario, where key policies like the carbon price get reversed. And wow, when you put these paths side by side, the difference is it's night and day. If we embrace net zero, we create 2.2 million new clean energy jobs for a total gain of 700,000 jobs. But here's the part that's so crucial. In the rollback scenario, fossil fuel jobs actually decline anyway because of global trends. And on top of that, Canada ends up with 100,000 fewer total energy jobs than if we just stayed on the path we're on now. So let's be super clear about this. The modeling shows that rolling back climate policy doesn't save jobs. It actually leads to a net loss of 100,000 jobs compared to where we're already heading. The global market is just moving away from fossil fuels, no matter what Canada does at home. The real choice is whether we build the new industries that are going to create jobs, or if we just get left behind. All right, so we get it. The opportunity is huge. But where are these 2.7 million new jobs exactly? Like, what would you actually be doing? Let's break it down. Right away, you can see the absolute giant here is clean transportation. It makes up over 60%, a huge chunk of all the new jobs. That's followed by clean energy supply, wind, solar, then clean buildings, and finally, clean industry. So let's dive into that monster slice of the pie. Clean transportation means 1.6 million Canadian jobs. And think about the whole chain. EV assembly plants, making batteries, building out charging stations everywhere, and yeah, even driving electric trucks and buses. The projections show that EV-related jobs alone are going to grow 60 times over by 2050. Just incredible. The next big job engine is in buildings. We're talking nearly 400,000 jobs here. And this is stuff you can see right in your own neighborhood. It's construction workers putting up super efficient new homes. It's technicians installing new tech like heat pumps in older houses. It's basically a massive countrywide building and retrofitting boom. And listen, this isn't just a Toronto or Vancouver thing. Not at all. This is a truly pan-Canadian opportunity. Ontario is set to have the most jobs, yeah, but look at Alberta. It's projected to have the fastest growth rate, 10% per year.
BC and Quebec are looking at hundreds of thousands of new jobs, and Atlantic Canada is setting itself up to be a global hub for green hydrogen. There is a piece of this action everywhere. Okay, so the jobs are there, they're everywhere. But now for the big question. Who's going to do them? What does it actually take to get one of these jobs and be part of this new green workforce? I absolutely love this quote because it just completely busts a huge myth about this industry. People hear clean energy and they think, oh, I have to be an engineer. But this point is so spot on. The sector is enormous, and it needs everybody. Policy experts, economists, finance pros, social scientists, communicators, you name it. And that is so, so important. The research really emphasizes that beyond the technical stuff, employers are desperate for people with strong soft skills. The ability to communicate well, to work together on really complex problems, and to understand the social side of these projects, that stuff is absolutely essential. And that just opens the door for so many more people. Okay, let's get down to brass tacks. You're watching this, you're thinking, I'm in. I see the potential. So what do you do next? How do you actually start building a career in clean energy, starting today?
Well, it really breaks down into a pretty simple 4-step plan. First, just explore. Look at all the different roles out there and find what actually interests you. Second, get some specialized training. You'd be surprised, even a single certification can make your resume really stand out. Third, get your foot in the door. Look for internships, co-ops, even volunteering to get some hands-on experience. And finally, network. This whole industry is built on collaboration, and connecting with people is just key. And here's the best part. You are not on your own with this. Seriously, there's real, actual support out there to help you. Governments all across Canada have training grants ready to go. You've got the Canada-Alberta Job Grant and the Canada-Ontario Job Grant. Both offer up to $10,000 per person for training. These programs exist specifically to build this workforce.
And the future here is it's mind-blowing. We're not just talking about putting up some solar panels. We're talking about being on the absolute cutting edge of technology. This is a direct air capture facility out in BC, literally pulling carbon dioxide right out of the air. Canada is a leader in this kind of world-changing innovation.
So look, the takeaway from all this is crystal clear. The data shows this massive job boom isn't just coming, it's here. And the path to creating hundreds of thousands of amazing new careers is right there for the taking. It's really not a question of if this global shift will happen. It's a question of how big a role Canada and maybe you will play in it.